Hmm. Hello. Interesting. I don't hear anything. Weird. Okay, one sec. I feel like I can kind of faintly hear. One second. I'm gonna try and fix this audio device. Go create new. Okay, and okay, there we go. Click okay. Oh, wait, no. Wait, is that it? Audio input capture. I guess that's it. So I guess I would mute the mic aux and yeah, the desk. Yeah, yeah, okay, those are already muted. Cool. All right, all right, all right. Then thank you. I'm gonna see if it works. Keep this up. Wait, where did I keep that up at again? Okay, I need to move some windows around actually. All right. Why is it like this, man? Please fix yourself. I can't hear anything. Why, I wonder. So I can see it move now, but I can't hear anything coming out of the stream at all. How do I... Alright, so I can see the thing moving, but it's not coming out of the stream. Now it's saying I have no data. Now it's saying I have an excellent connection. Yeah, let me see if I can do that. Live stream. Do you want me to do screen or application? Okay. So here's the OBS joint, if you can see it. I don't know if you can, but yeah, like if I scroll up, this is, I assume, what the Blue Yeti is because it's moving. Yeah, it's just not. Yeah, it's just not coming through. These other joints are muted, so you know. I have my volume set all the way up, and I could hear. Why can't I hear it then? No, like, look, well, you probably can't see, but my volume's all the way up. Oh wait, you're not supposed to be able to hear yourself? Like, this is new tech? Alright, that's strange. Okay. Alright then. Thanks, man. Alright. Alright, everyone. Sorry for all of that. Still getting used to this new setup. But supposedly my audio's coming through, even though I can't hear it. Still strange to me that I can't hear it. But yeah, how's it going, everyone? Hope you guys are doing well. I'm literally still looking for settings to try and figure out how to hear this thing, but that's fine. But how's it going, Tony? How's it going, Jerry? And how's it going, Solar? Or Solar? Why did I say Solar? See here. But yeah, one sec. Alright. Hey. Yeah, I'm doing okay. Doing okay. So in yesterday's stream... Oh, and if anyone's new here, what I'm kind of doing is I'm working through my comic book step by step. I'm kind of just streaming the process. And if anyone has any questions about the process or anything like that, go ahead and ask away. Be happy to, answer any questions. Because honestly, I primarily wanted to be able to share this process, to be able to help, up and coming other comic book artists and stuff like that. We could, help each other out, pool knowledge and things of that nature. Yeah, this is how far we got yesterday. And the process is kind of like, I do the storyboards or like the thumbnails. And this is, I guess my thumbnails are kind of like my storyboards. But basically I come up with all of that and then I take it and I blow it all the way up or, enlarge it on the computer. and then I go over it with like my roughs. So these are like my rough sketches that go right on top of my my thumbnails right now. And I'm just kind of mapping out everything. The next part of the step that I think I'm at right now is this layer here. I'm using this layer to kind of put the clothes on the characters. So once I do the sketches, I usually can tell from just how small everything is if the proportions are decent and stuff like that. Like this guy right here, I'm not really happy completely with, so I'm gonna go ahead and go through and like, you know, add some changes to him. You're back with the chicken nuggets. Okay, awesome. Solar says, I always have trouble following the process of it because I keep wanting to get to the inking quickly. Oh yeah. Yeah, inking is... It's one of the most important stages just because it literally is like the icing on the cake. It's what everyone sees when the thing is done. And that's the hardest thing to do to yourself, is like tell yourself no, instead of just like working through making sure everything really works first and then getting to the inking. Well, yeah, and I'm working digitally, and that means that I can like turn the canvas like this. I'm not usually a fan of doing it for some reason, but I'm starting to warm up to things like that. Usually do everything traditionally. So, got this guy, he's kind of laying here. Kind of think I want to change his pose just a bit. So I'm laying here. Put more weight there. Kind of want to put like his... You know, people sleep, interestingly. Thanks for coming to Altrodesi TED Talk. See, now I'm starting to believe more in the figure. I think it's looking a little better. Spin it around. Okay, that's more believable. So what I usually do with this stage in particular is like, I try to get it just good enough. If I need something to be really tightly drawn, I'll do that. Like in particular, actually, I don't know. It'll be tight, but I don't think I'll ever want it to be too tight, because that just steals the life of it from me. And like, I still have a big portion of this process where I print this stuff out and work on it. And if I'm gonna be doing that, then I kind of want to leave some stuff for me to like, I guess, get right on paper. And if I already got it right digitally, then why? I felt like it would just take the fun out of it, because I literally would create not necessarily guidelines, but like perfect blueprints, right? Which means if you change anything, you know, it becomes like you change the whole feeling of reading that comic. So what I usually do is I get everything lined up decently enough so my brain can kind of go, okay, I see that this is here, but I'm going to change it slightly just to make it better or improve it, you know? So I can do that enough. And basically, when I'm doing my final drawings, I'm actually like getting to draw instead of getting to ink. I'm just drawing neatly, but I'm drawing on top of really good guidelines. That's what I always try to, well, that's what I'm trying to do these days. I don't want to like steal the life of the drawing from myself. Okay, so that's there. It's there. It's turning. I would extend the torso just a bit right there. his elbow up. So his hand would be back here like this. Just trying to create a sense of space here. Know that this will be like the center line for the head and all that good stuff. Thing I'm also trying to do is like force the head downward into like the arm, because you know, gravity and things of that nature. And I usually try to sketch with like these broad lines, because it helps me not focus on details. And again, when I print this stuff out, I can go, oh, I know what I was going for, and I could change it just a little bit, which means I never exactly know how things are gonna perfectly turn out. But that's great, because you know, it's just better for morale, or for my morale when I'm working. Okay, so almost really done with this figure. I think I might end up changing that hand, because you know, who sleeps like that? Actually, I could probably have the I guess I could say I'm self-taught. I think just like with you guys' generation, I assume, well, with the new generation coming up, you know, everyone has access to, you know, YouTube and things of that nature. I tried to get my hands on anything of that sort when I was younger, and yeah, didn't really have much of a teacher. I had some mentors here and there. That was awesome. I was very lucky to have some mentors, but yeah, mainly self-taught. I don't like that. Alright, so we're going to change it again. Here we go. Arm. Here we go. Wrist here. This arm just kind of lays. Shoulder. Erase out. And that's better. That's way better, right? Looks a lot more natural. It's kind of turning. It's got like a leg up. I actually think it might be better if he's turning, but like, because that's actually a bit of a crunch. So maybe we could like put that leg. Whoa. Oh, if you scroll while on this bar, it just goes up and down. Okay. So if we have this leg kind of like going down instead, and have the other one going up, maybe that'd be better. Yeah, that seems a bit better to me. Trying to really sell the moment of a person kind of just sleep in the morning, and just kind of eventually getting woken up by something happening in the background, and the man like, alright, come on, like, alright, fine, I guess I'll get up. you know. I think I'm what is this? Eastern Standard Time? It's 9:27 p.m. right now. Where I am. I guess you could lay with your leg a little bit flat. Okay. I have my eraser set to an opacity that just doesn't completely erase. So it kind of feels like more like a natural eraser. So I have to kind of go over it a bunch of times before it can completely get rid of those lines. I'm cool with that. So this here is my layer for like clothing. It's where this is. And I have like the little blue thing turned on, layer color turned on. And I'm using an ink pen to do that because you know, I like to have fun with the poses and things of that nature and make sure they look natural. But when it comes to the clothing, I want them to look a little bit closer to final. Because I don't ever want to jump the gun with the clothing, so that's why I do them last. So again, we can turn this guy over here and start to kind of just sketch directly on here. I think I'll turn the layer color on. I really just touched the screen with 2 fingers. The iPad has ruined me. It's like, yeah, let me go ahead and undo that. It's like, oh, I can't. That's not how that works. How's it going, Tavon? So I know this is gonna kind of just lay into the ground like that a bit. Yeah. What else do we have here? Let me rotate this back. Alright, we're gonna have one going up. The leg coming here. Got some of the wrinkles. I think I'm gonna also push some of these here. Since everything down there has to be flattened out, just laying on the ground. got these socks here. Alright, last thing should be this going here. Yeah, the reason I use a pen is, well, it just, when you turn the layer off, it looks just a lot more together. And I can always just take the layer underneath of this, make it lighter, keep this part dark, and then go ahead and like print it out. Use both of those for the underdrawing like that. It'll work really well. Okay, Tavon. That's how they do it, man. So, since we have her, or this guy in silhouette, we're gonna have Samara in silhouette as well. But I think she's too big here, so I think I'm just gonna quickly just do like a little cat body thingy here. And I'll just go ahead and fill that in. Of course I can't fill it in completely, but yeah. I think I'm going to start also making sure her emblem sticks out of that darkness regardless as well. Cool. That actually looks like a light source. It's really cool. And of course, she's not that big, so I'm gonna make her smaller now, but if I don't like it, I'm gonna leave her big. Hopefully no one comes through and goes, no, she wouldn't be that big. It's like, yeah, but she wouldn't be that noticeable either. Dude, kind of small. I think that works. Here's the easiest test ever, right? Undo. Yeah. There it goes, the easiest test ever. It's like, okay, how does she look on this man's shoulder? I'm gonna put her over here. This man is sipping tea with murderous intent. Okay. So, I'm gonna go through this page today. I'm going to start off with this pose. Yeah, this is literally all I need. It's pretty fun, honestly. It's like leaving something this rough. I tried to make sure that I use the gesture well. This kind of curve thing going on here. And then I have the outfit that they're wearing as like this collar. The thing I need to improve over time is how I want to, like, you guys know about squash and stretch and stuff like that. I need to figure out how I can push the gesture of this more and more so that I can keep it looking dynamic when they do poses and stuff. So right now I think I do okay. And the good part is that I'm thinking about it, because that means I'm going to improve it regardless. But, yeah. So he's going from this direction to that direction, so technically I could do something like that. Make sure that I indicate some small wrinkles near the bottom. I go straight down. Arm is coming up, so we got this part curving around here. Elbow should be here. That's there, which means this has to... Still trying to think of the gesture, honestly. And I don't want to go too far away from it. We have this going on with his pants. Yeah, I think that's fine. Part of it's going to be covered up. Alright. So basically, let me see here. Just go something like that. This is going to be filled in. So yeah, that's all I usually do with that. Could just go ahead and fill that in more, but usually I don't, just in case there's something I want to change. It's easier to change something that's not completely filled in with a color or a value. You know, because then it's just like a line. You get rid of a line, you know, you're done with it, you move on. Alright, so next pose. Shoulders be going like this. And go to the next one. Actually, this should be further up here to try and push the angle a bit more. Okay, so this should... Actually, I like this because it's going to accentuate this. Maybe I can use this as well. Doesn't work. Alright, that looks pretty cool. Yeah, I'm trying my best to kind of just accentuate movement of everything here. Figure out where things are being overlapped and stuff like that. See, now I'm gonna have to actually draw the shoulder here because it's confusing me the way I drew it. And now I'm not confused just by throwing that line. So I know this goes here. And what really is supposed to happen is we get like one of the cuff parts and stuff. So it like goes that way. So I'm gonna try and like force the body to contort a bit. I know the shoulder should be somewhere over here. This should be over here. I'm thinking I threw this leg long enough, so go ahead and do a bit of that. Yeah, and this foot was not in that sketch, but I was like, no, we could do better. So basically, I used the roughs to inspire me, the me that is essentially getting to draw on the pages. So once I get this stuff, I'm like, oh, okay, I see what that guy was doing, me. But I could do this, you know? I could also just go directly over what, you know, I had planned, and that could be okay. But if I ever see room, which I often do to grow a panel or a scene or whatever, I usually go ahead and do that. And that's just fine. Alright, so that's how that's looking. And we're going to start on this next part, this next row. I see that I started to draw the hair and everything, and then these last three I was like, let me just hurry up and get something on here or something. Alright, I'm getting moving a little bit faster. If anyone has any questions, go ahead. I'm paying attention. Gonna put some more lines on here a lot faster since I see that I've almost been drawing for an hour. And I'm like, oh man. Well, actually, I haven't. I spent like 10 minutes trying to figure out my audio situation. This is the first stream that I've been able to not hear myself, but I hope it sounds good and that I sound clear, because I have a new mic setup I just got today. Thank you so much to the Kainonaut, my good friend. I drew that color wrong instantly. It's like an insta fail. So the best part about like literally drawing the clothes on top of the drawing is that you just don't have to worry about the body of the you know, of the character anymore. If you did enough of the sketch, it kind of should already work. And often you can actually find flaws, like I'm finding flaws in some of the things I've done with the body when I'm applying the clothes. My brain is going, why is this area shorter than the other side? If it's not some sort of skewed perspective, then it should be very close to the other side in shape and proportion. And when you're drawing small, you can easily see proportions. You can easily see something is too long or too short when you're comparing it to the other side of a thing. It's another big reason why thumbnails are what they are. Okay, so this is going to be crunched up here a bit, and right, this just goes to the middle. This goes up. Those sirens, the beautiful sounds of Baltimore. I remember during the last stream I said in the previous chapter, there was like a page where it was like these tiny drawings, and I ended up like forgetting to draw Samara uh, on some of those panels. And yay, like to this little aspect here where Samara's doing her own thing, not on his shoulder at the moment. And I can't possibly forget to draw her now because she's in the, she's a part of the, I don't know, she's not literally attached to him, right? She's not like right there, like a part of him. Whereas I'm drawing a fighting pose or whatever, a walking pose, and then all of a sudden I forget to draw her or something like that. It's a horrible thing, I guess, but like it's not that horrible. But like now she's like doing more her own thing, so she's more of a character. She's not just sitting there. Which makes my brain go, okay, what's she doing? Instead of going like, what's he doing by himself over there? And then, oh no, he wasn't by himself. Wasn't Samara with him again? Alright, so here we got like a jabbing pose. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this collar in here. I probably should actually turn this pin a little bit smaller, just a bit. Bolt lines are just fine, honestly. That's actually funny. As soon as I changed it to a smaller line, I instantly wanted to make details. It's funny how your brain works. Like I was like, oh man, like I think I messed that line stroke up or whatever. And then I was like, I could do this. I'm like, oh no, like it's already happening. Like I don't want to do that. I want to focus on just getting down these very broad strokes. Actually want to make this fist a bit bigger as well. Okay then, Jerry. See you in a bit. See a lot of people talking about WandaVision, but I'm very late, and I have not really gotten far on that show. I've checked out a few episodes, like literally like 2 or 3, and was like, oh, this is a cool show so far. Cool. I more so recently finished Star Wars: The Clone Wars, which again I'm very late, but I actually was looking forward to that season. I just didn't have the time to get into it, but found the time recently-ish. Allowed myself to check it out. And I really enjoyed it. Definitely those last 4 episodes that they put everything into. I also enjoyed. I mean, I guess I could say I also enjoyed the lead up to those 4. Um, like Star Wars: The Clone Wars, season 7 starts off, in my opinion, pretty strong. Then there's the middle that you're feeling a little iffy about, and you don't really know. You know, like it's okay. And then you get to the end, and you're like, oh, it was all worth it. Like not the end, but like the beginning of the end, right? The last 4, and then you get to like the literal last like moments of that show, and you're just sitting there like, I hate this feeling because I want more, and I know there is no more, and there's nothing that can be done about that. The only thing you can do is wait to see what they start doing with the live action. And no, I have not tried out Star Wars Rebels. I kind of don't have a. I'm not that interested in Rebels, I guess. I don't feel like it'll. I don't know much about Rebels, so I haven't really given it a chance. But I was there to see what they were gonna do with Ahsoka. I don't like what they did with her and Darth Maul. Um, at this point, I actually feel like she should have been a consistent character in the movies, but that's what's wrong with the movies, is that they're movies. I, it's my opinion. I I feel like Star Wars would benefit from long format content instead of short format stuff. Trying to squeeze all that story into like 2 hours and some minutes. And I think Clone Wars, the animated joint, is like a testament to that, because they were able to show, uh, you know, Anakin's apprentice, literally grow on that show from like the beginning to like all the way up until Order 66 happens, and it's such a cool journey to see, in my opinion. They put a lot of effort into Ahsoka's development while allowing all the other things to happen. The thing that I realized, even at the end and at the start, was that you just couldn't stop any of the stuff that was gonna happen at any point in time. Like the only way to really stop anything that was gonna happen is if you took out, like after Dooku was gone, right? You just take out Palpatine before he's able to initiate Order 66. All right, fine. Like you did it. Like that's the only way. But who knows? Who knows whether or not that would have gone down that way? You could have initiated upon death, right? Like like imagine the clone troopers just find out like, oh snap, like Palpatine got killed. It must have been the Jedi. They just just got something in their head that snaps. It's like it must have been the Jedi. Like they're treasonous. Like let's go after them. It's like, oh no, Order 66 happens regardless. It was a genius plan. Uh, I don't know if I concocted a plan that villainous, I'd probably look and smile like that dude all the time as well. Like you guys got me over here protecting me. You guys do missions for me. Literally running you guys around. I know all your abilities. Like I know all your secrets almost. Like he's just literally keeping the closest of tabs on these people, and they don't have any knowledge of it until the last moments, and they're like, wait, because he's supposed to be politically kicked out, and he just chose to stay. I think he didn't want to he didn't want to go because obviously he didn't want to release the power. And he was like, no, instead of doing that, I'm just gonna show you guys who I am and initiate Order 66, and it's a wrap. I'm gonna use you guys as own army against you. It's crazy. But that's what happens when the Jedi start playing politics. They were never supposed to be soldiers in that time period. They were supposed to be peacemakers or something. And they got used because, they got manipulated like everybody else. See here. See, I think the collar's too big here. Want that to do that. I was a little bit perplexed though. I got to the end and I was sitting there like, wait, so are you telling me that Ahsoka at that time was better than Maul in combat? Or are you telling me that Maul, since he was, had been out of commission for so long, that he just couldn't keep up with her? Or because it was a back and forwards fight, which means they were at the same level at the same time. I know, I'm just, well, I don't know actually, but red and black tattoo alien guy with 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 dual-sided lightsaber, who got cut in half. Ah, Star Wars. Star Wars is a great concept, but they don't do enough with it. I actually haven't checked out Legends. Legends is, since you don't know, I assume, Legends is this thing where it was like the extra content of Star Wars before Disney kind of took over and said that, things in Legends aren't canon anymore. So a lot of those things that happen don't exist in the real story of Star Wars anymore. They kind of kicked it out. Like, no, you're not real, and just kicked it out of the room. Like, no, you stay over there. We're the real ones over here, And there was some really dope content in there, like future Luke. He was so good with the lightsaber. Supposedly, it looked like he was using like, I don't know, either 10 or 100 lightsabers at one time. It was crazy. I was like, whoa, like that's something I would love to see on the movie screen, but who wants to compete with that, Like, CGI team would have lost their minds, I guess. I don't know. But Star Wars is cool, man. It could have been cool. I don't like what they're doing with Star Wars right now. Only thing I like is the stuff that's not in the movies, mainly. Some of the video games are cool concepts. Ahsoka Tano as a character existing, literally, and her story in general breathes so much more life into the story of Star Wars to me. And I know they're doing stuff with the Mandalorian, but I haven't checked that out at all. I think I maybe have seen episode 1, and I was like, I don't know. And then after I stopped paying attention to it, they brought this baby, baby Yoda into the concept. And, I don't have anything against it. I was just in my head like, they're gonna use this to market things. They're gonna have like baby Yoda everywhere and baby Yoda toys and stuff. And I was like, it's smart, but I don't know if I want to see that completely yet. I mean, I'll check it out eventually. I think the Mandalorian stuff is pretty cool, conceptual wise and imagery wise, but the problems with Star Wars is this how it limits itself. It's like twofold, right? You want to tell a what is it called, a war plot, but you only give it the runtime of a movie. How the heck can you, like, there's ways to do it, right? But usually war plots, go really well when you like focus mainly on that. But then it's the amalgamation of all the different concepts that make up Star Wars. And it's like, okay, you got the Force, you got lightsabers, you got like, and you got the weapons of war, right? You got war and the weapons of war, and you got these characters who are essentially like monks, like warrior monks, if you will, and they're running around with a lightsaber, and you're like, wait, you telling me in a war these guys are still using like sword-based things, you know? And he's like, oh well, they got the Force, and it's like, what do they use the Force to do? In all the movies, they basically use it to pull and push things, to and from places or whatever, objects and things of that nature. Um, the concept art for what the Force is used for is cooler than what they use the Force for. And I get it, it's probably CGI limitations, but let me tell you, the battle on Mustafar between Luke and my bad, between Obi-Wan and Anakin. I think it was Ian McCaig or someone. I forget who did the storyboards for it, but they looked like they were going to be pushing around the lava on the I want to say stage because video games, but on the setting, you know, in the location. And I was like, man, that'd have been freaking cool, like because they're not quote unquote bending, you know, but they are, right? They're literally taking the environment and using it against each other with the Force. I was like, man, that would have actually been cool. But they was like, nope, we're not going to do anything with that. We're just going to let them fight in the area and sweat or something. And that'll be the end of that. I was like, oh, man, like, I don't know. It's just, it sounds so cool on paper. But then when you go to do it, it's like, we didn't do anything with it. Like lightsabers are these, you know, supposedly they're not laser swords. They're literally, I forget how it works. I think it's literally based off of light. They're literally lightsabers, but they're emitting this wave that's definitely like heat. It has like heat. I guess it'll be plasma-ish. These things can burn holes through whatever, man. It's crazy. Like, they look like they might be able to do more damage than blasters, which is laser guns, I assume, in Star Wars. And they make the lightsabers from these crystals that they put inside the sword. That they're these rare crystals. And I was in my head like, you know, it would be so cool if you could do something crazy cooler with the crystals. Because you know, on the real, you're fighting wars with people who are using blasters, and the bad guys, quote unquote, are creating something that can blow holes inside of like planets. They can literally blow up planets if they want to. And you're running around here with these little, you know, these little swords, and you're not doing anything cool with it. It's like, what is the point? I don't get it. It'd have been so cool if there was like you could use the Force to unlock the potential of what your crystal could actually do. It could also be cool if you could change the shape of your sword. Well, actually, yeah, you can change the shape of your sword, but like only the length, right? And I was like, what if you could literally change it into something else? Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it just could have been cooler. Like, it could have been so much cooler. I can only roast Star Wars because I like it. You know? Like, I'm not really roasting it, but like, you know, I only know so much. I'm not that into it. But from what I could tell, like the more and more I check out stuff, I'm always like, man, that was great, but you know, there's always a but that could have been even cooler if only they didn't have these certain limitations. Oh, don't do that, man. I'm a never resurface, man. I'll never make it out. Tavon, they got this guy named General Grievous, right? This guy he's like a robot looking guy, right? This guy can take his 2 arms and break them into other 2 arms, so he has 4 arms. And he wields multiple lightsabers, bro. But the moment your brain goes, wait, they made this guy to sell toys, it's like, oh, this makes sense. Yeah, yeah, see, Grievous, see, it's like, as soon as you notice that they made this guy to sell toys, your brain kind of goes, I mean, everything could be made into a toy depending on how cool you make the concept art and stuff like that, right? But Grievous, just like, what's the other one? That lady who was in Game of Thrones, and she's, what is it? Lady Phasma, I think? She's wearing this really shiny armor. I think we never get to see her take it off. Like, it literally stays on her head. And I was like, ugh. He uses sabers of Jedi. He's slim. Yes, that's the coolest thing about him. That's the coolest thing, you know? I think Gendy Tartakovsky, when he did his version of Star Wars for Cartoon Network, he did a fantastic job just giving all that stuff like a sense of feeling and expression more than just scripted stuff. He actually made some of the soldiers feel like soldiers in war. It's crazy. He didn't fill it with a bunch of like dialogue and stuff. He's like, no, I want you to feel something. I want these characters to feel afraid, frightened, Like, one thing they always talk about, I'm sorry, I keep bringing this up, right? One thing they always talk about is the crystal joint that's inside of the lightsaber or whatever. It's highly unstable if you do something different with your lightsaber. It can like explode or whatever, It can explode. If that's the case, you have a little last resort here then. People actually go out their way and make, like, if something happens to you or your lightsaber or your whoever, whatever, you go and a lot of people end up making a new lightsaber. If that's the case, then these lightsabers are a little bit expendable. They may have a story behind them and all of that good stuff, but if it's a last resort, I get to take out the bad guy with said ability, then yeah, I'm breaking my lightsaber to create a freaking explosion. I'm not... How's it going, Jerry? I'm not just gonna use it and get killed because I'm not as cold as the guy using the dual lightsaber joint. Like, I'm not about to die to that guy. I'm about to break my lightsaber and take this guy out by just exploding. Like, I'm just gonna make a little explosion and direct it towards the guy I'm fighting. That's type of stuff that I don't see done in Star Wars much. I don't know if it's some sort of code of honor. Oh, hello, Jerry. I was just talking about Star Wars and backtrack. I was talking about how I checked out finally season 7 of Star Wars: The Clone Wars, and I was talking about it and how I enjoyed it and things of that nature. And Tavon said, I don't know Star Wars. And he was like, but you make it sound cool. And I was explaining to him, there are some really cool things in Star Wars, but unfortunately, the more I think about it, the less cool stuff they've done with all the cool stuff they could have done in Star Wars. And I was bringing up the fact that if the crystals inside the lightsaber could essentially, if the lightsaber is created wrong, could create an explosion. I was like, well, if I know that as a Jedi, if that's one of the first things they tell you when you build it, if I'm about to fight some guy and he's better than me, I'm about to break my lightsaber so that I can like create an explosion, you know. And if I have the Force, I can literally direct the force of that blast towards my opponent. It's stuff like that I think about, and I'm just like, man, they haven't done a bunch of really cool stuff with Star Wars. They've done some good choreography, right? They've done some here and there, some cool stuff with like some of the tactics, but the Force is consistently limited. Lightsabers are consistently limited, you know, and I guess I don't know why. I always wish that they could have done more. That's basically what I was talking about. So I wish I could hear my audio. I can't at the moment, but I could tell how loud I am or something. Hope I'm not too loud. Yeah, I said something about that. I was like, man, if I created a plan as good as Palpatine's, I would laugh and look like that all the time too. I would be such a villain. I would be laughing, you know, like, man, like there's nothing you can do to stop me. Like what are you about to do? Like he's got these people running around doing missions for him, protecting him. I need help. The Senate under attack. You know, please help me. Oh no, a droid found out my plan? I know what I'll do. I'll tell the droid exactly who I am so he can lose his mind and try to kill me. And then I can get the Jedi to kill the droid. Or the clone, right? It's like, yeah. See, I'm actually the Dark Lord and I'm controlling everything. I'll kill you. Jedi, help. He's attacking me. He's lost his mind. Oh man. It's crazy. But yeah, I think that season 7 of the Clone Wars is highly recommended by me because it puts a little, I guess it's just a little bow on the series for me. It's like, here's the ending you guys have all been waiting for type thing. And I guess that leads into Star Wars Rebels, but I'm really not interested in Rebels, so I think I'll just skip around. I think I'll just end up skipping around and checking out what Rebels has to offer in way of Ahsoka, because that's literally the only character that I care about as far as progress in that story from this point on. And I guess I'll be checking out some Mandalorian stuff, which I have neglected to check out as well. Ah, Yeah, that's where I'll be jumping to, I guess, because I guess I'll. You know what's crazy? The description of that show, like if you look at the description for each episode, it literally tells you exactly what you need to hear. It's like, oh, such and such happened, and then the separatists did this, and such got stuck, and whatever. And it's like, okay, word, okay. And you read the next one, and you can literally read exactly what happens. Those synopses are like perfect. They almost don't. They like include everything you need to know. So I could easily skip around on there just to get where I want to go. Oh yeah, the what I was saying before, I think you left or whatever. I don't know when you left. Was like I was like, man, I was confused because I was like, are you telling me that Ahsoka at that time was as good as Maul, or are you telling me that like they both was out of shape? But because I was confused. I was sitting there like, I don't think at that time if Maul was as good as he was on like when he first fought what is his name? What is this dude's name? Qui Gon Jinn. When he first fought Qui Gon Jinn, he took him out. I'm like, dang, is Ahsoka that good now? Like just in my head, like is Ahsoka that good? And you know what's crazy? The more I think about it, the more I think about like how the end of that show works and everything. I'm like, you know what? I could see Ahsoka actually being that good, like where she is at the end of season 7. But I would also think she has to be better. She has to be not necessarily better than Qui Gon Jinn, but better than him in that duel, right? And also I would say probably better than Obi-Wan in that duel. She has to be a decent amount better, maybe a little bit more clever than both of them when it comes to that, right? Um, and she was out of shape for like the beginning of that whole season. She didn't even have a lightsabers, so maybe that also helped with her being clever. She's a little rusty on her lightsaber combat, but because of that, she knows how to do like in general combat things. So she could make up for it. But she was pretty good with her lightsabers as well. I think it's one of those things where, oh no, like someone's taking my lightsaber from me. What am I gonna do? And it's like, well, that's a consistent thing that seems to happen to her. Like she doesn't always need her lightsabers to win, and she knows it. And it's the funniest thing. People really think disarming her is gonna be the end all be all, and it's never the case. It's actually the worst thing you could do, because it makes like if you feel that way, it's gonna end up, where you're gonna overestimate yourself, and then you're like, oh wait, she didn't even need lightsabers to do that. Yeah, because she really was one of the ones who doesn't die. Yeah, exactly, right? She actually makes it to the end of like everything. It's the craziest thing. I think I heard that they mentioned her in the last movie that came out. And I'm like, what? It's like, Jesus, how old is Ahsoka? And I mean, they can get away with everything too because Ahsoka's an alien, right? She's not like a human, and I don't know what her race, what their lifeline is looking like as far as longevity goes. Um, so they can get away with her just being around for a while. I don't think she's gonna ever be around as long as like Yoda's race of alien, or whatever. So those guys seem to be around for a long time. All I know is that once the Order 66 thing happened, it's a very dark timeline right there. You over there minding your business, thinking everything going well. Um, I have several short stories that I've put out, and I've been working on this comic for several years. I have a few chapters out of this, probably on Tapas. I think I have the link somewhere in the description, or it's at least on my Twitter. Um, and I plan on putting more out. I'm just kind of waiting. I'm trying to just kind of like slowly working through all the pages that I'm getting ready. So I'll be putting that out later. But yeah, I have a bunch of short stories that I've placed out. So mainly, they are without dialogue, because I was doing them. I was producing them for a contest and things of that nature. I don't like this arm here, but like, what is that? I don't like that. The problem with it is it's too much of like it needs to be moving. That's the real issue. So let's try and fix that. And instantly that looks better. I don't know why. Okay, this goes here. This goes here. Alright, so that's basically that. Let me go ahead and get rid of this makeshift lightsaber interior. So we're doing a good job getting some of this stuff in here now. And good, the bottom one is already done, I just didn't fill in the black. And yeah, some of our sketches are loose, but that's good. I can already see the expression of everything here. So we have hurried here. Just kind of like has this kind of motion here. We got our eyes right there. That's weird. But yeah, like that. And now, of course, make sure that I adjust the size of everything. But yeah, just making sure that the gestures are working well with the clothing and stuff. That's what I mainly was worried about. Trying to make sure of. Alright. It's basically about all I need for that page. Let's go ahead and start on the next one. It's funny, I think that page, it took a certain amount. I don't know, it felt like, I think it's all the drawings on that page, right? Now I'm over here and I'm like, okay, way less drawings to do. Which means I can make pictures or subjects a lot bigger in each image. And by being able to make them bigger, I don't have to worry about missing out on any details. Interesting. Okay, I forgot I have to turn off this thing. Cool. Now it's gonna allow me to draw on it. That's way too close. So I put like this little chibi looking proportions for this guy's legs here. But if you do that, you gotta, I know that if I do that, I have to go back over it and kind of make sure it's proportionally correct. And yeah, so I would probably, we'll try to have the knees there. So I'll be like, okay. See, now it looks short. He's a shorter person than what he is. So I'm trying to make his actual leg let me go here and drop this a little bit lower. Starting to affect my eyes. Okay, so that's more closer to what his actual leg looks like. Alright, so now I can go ahead and change the size of this. Okay, it seems, oh, okay, so that's what I was doing. It was drawing directly on those lines there. Okay, now we got the legs, the knees in the scene. I mean, technically, if I make this bigger, if I go ahead and at least start with that, it hopefully wouldn't look like some sort of, some person has cut off this man's legs or something. Since it's like a close-up on the legs here. Let's pencil it. Huh, okay. Okay, so this works. So we have the foot that is kind of planted here. So it should be relatively flat. Because it's kind of like about to lift So it needs to be planted well. And then we have this leg lifting up. So what I'm going to do is just lift it up with the lasso tool. And like about there. Then I can do something where I extend the ground shadow around there. Right? And that also allows me to put some emphasis on the fact that he's lifted his foot up, because it should be like a lighter area under his foot. And we'll put some motion lines. Actually, what I'll actually do is kind of bend the foot a bit as well. The leg. Nah. Okay. And over here, we're gonna have Samara, and she should be doing that. She should be doing that. That joint that the cat was doing with Shaq, you know. So her problem is she's kind of like not on the ground plane that we need her to be on. So that's what we're gonna try and fix. So she can be a little bit over here. And I think I'll just add her feet, I think, the bottom. That should help a little bit. Actually, does the cat? I don't think the cat like has their tail up. Do they? When they're about to try and pounce. I gotta look it up. I'm literally seeing Shaquille O'Neal in my head. It's crazy. He's just wiggling, and the cat's all wiggling. Thank you. And then she all like, well actually I'm gonna start off here. He kicks. He's all, always gotta remember to make that a little bit bigger. So he's kicking. And I think what I'll do is, so his foot would actually look something like, that is a weird looking foot, hold up. But it would kind of be like that. You know, you got the pointed toe thing joint. you would have that, right? So you'd have like toe here, these joints would be like there. And no one's gonna see that because he's wearing a shoe, but still, that's the shape it would be. I like that. Let me see. Grab the pen, erase from here. Okay, that. Grab this, smaller. So I think I want to move it up just a bit. So at least it has more space going up. Alright. Okay, I was about to say, what does that look like that? Because it's the wrong tool. Let me make sure, well actually I don't need to, I just need to do the so this here, that's fine. And now we have the cat kind of pouncing. We're gonna have the butterfly be like over here. So we're gonna get some sort of movement from here to here. Same thing with this, here to here. Actually, wouldn't the pounce make the legs go like... Alright, we'll get these weird legs later. I'm like, like, wouldn't it be like that? Or would it be like a, maybe it's like a jump, right? So, yeah, that looks odd. We'll fix it later. It may seem funny a bit, but the whole, like, my whole fix it later mentality is I really will fix it later. If I do it now, I'm gonna slow down. And if I slow down, I won't get as much of this process done. So I really better just keep going forward and then come back to it and fix what I can. Okay. So I already kind of have this form here. that I'm going to kind of respect. Trying to make like a center line for everything. No, that doesn't make any sense. No, the reason I said that is sometimes I end up drawing my character way past what they're supposed to be right now. And I guess technically his legs can be a little slimmer right there. Yeah. Okay. This is this muscle here. Cool. We got this. Legs do this. Should be a slight turn, not a complete turn. It's down there. Okay. Now with the arms, we got this. Just allow this to overlap here. I feel like I should, let's see, can I do anything with that? Yeah, could, possibly. But I also don't want to... Can I do anything with that, though? With this arm here, it's whack. To keep it up. Here. To maybe like the thumb here, fingers going to maybe okay, lean the head a little bit, tilted this way so the neck comes out the side, or like more so that way. Oh, thanks, Jerry. Thanks for hanging out, man. I'll see you next time. So, you already know we're gonna put this shadow here on the leg. That's like for later. Adios. And here we're gonna have like the butterfly here. Should not be that big. Should it? It might be, yeah. And then we have this right here. I'll put like her ear overlapping the knee so you know she's like in front of him. Okay. And then we cheat a little bit with the tail here, where we just kind of use it to go right into the leg. Hopefully that adds into the line of sight that you end up going through. Hopefully. Try not to create a tangent there. I'm gonna wrap this around here. So this is dark here. This is also dark. And this as well. Alright. So we got the leg here. Okay, I know what it is. This actually is in the way. Okay, so what I'll do with this is I'm gonna just try and expand it just a bit. That is not what I meant. Okay, there we go. So about there is where I want that actually to be. Maybe I just wanted the darn cat on the ground plane. Maybe so. Alright. Alright, it's relatively there. Yeah, I like this page so far. It's looking okay. I think his head looks a little smaller than it should be. So we're just going to erase out of the shape and see if that's enough. Okay, losing the chin a bit here. Alright, so that's that pose there. And how are we doing on the other page? So yeah, this should be fairly simple, right? Very simplistic face here. Yeah, sometimes I like to actually go ahead and draw like things beyond the panel. Helps give it a good sense of I don't know, staying power or something. Just looks more believable, or it feels more believable, since I drew the whole thing out instead of just drawing what was necessarily in that panel. Because all it is cropping, and if you didn't really crop it, then you may have drawn it wrong. So, when in doubt, crop it, but make sure you actually drew it to be able to crop it. Like, I sketched these things out, I didn't crop them, but now that I have to draw them, I have to actually draw them out in order to make sure that they're proportioned correctly and everything like that. He looks so funny. I wish I knew how that worked. Actually, maybe it's... So I go here. Okay, this says move to grid. Or move grid. I don't need that. Delete it. Delete subtool. Yes, goodbye. Move tone pattern. I don't need that. Delete that. Alright, now let's see if this thing works. I've been noticing that my there's a button on one of my devices that usually allows me to... It's like a little space bar type thing. And usually the space bar allows you to move, kind of grab and move the canvas around. And it's not working. Great. Why? I'm not familiar with that, but... Oh, that's actually not what it is. Undo. That's fine. What is it? Which tool is it exactly? It's smooth layer. Where's this thing at? It's got a it's a hand tool. It looks like a hand. There we go. Move. Alright, so I don't need to rotate. If I get rid of rotate, will that work? No, it's not working. I don't know why. What if I use the actual spacebar? Nope, nothing. Yeah, I don't know. I always thought it was because I had certain tools on. So I'm gonna try and do this one and knock this out. Not close enough here. Okay, that does what that's supposed to do. Maybe I have to just check my settings again. I'm not sure. That's not what I wanted to do. let's see here. Alright. Yep, there we go. I'll come back to all that, it's very loose. I like this face here. These are pretty cool. Let's see if I can hurry up and clean it up a bit more. No, again, usually I don't do the outfit until like the later layer, but I was feeling confident about being able to do it well, so I did it. Alright, people. About to go ahead and end the stream. Thanks for everybody coming through and hanging out. Okay, I'm about to say what's going on. But yeah, thanks for everyone coming through and hanging out. I'm gonna go ahead and head out soon. We did a pretty decent amount today, I think. Worked on the last page, which is over here. And we got that a lot more finished. And there's a lot of little drawings there. So I'll be going back and, filling in whatever. So I'll probably get that completely finished as far as the rough draft phase goes tomorrow. So that'll be cool. And we started on this page. And we kind of got some of the roughs in for, again, like the anatomy, the proportions, and some of the compositional elements of things right there. And we also started at the beginning of page 3 as well. And I kind of went a little bit more in depth with like the second panel over here, which is, the panel I wanted to use to close out the stream. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. What else will I say? I'm still focusing on some Patreon content. So if you guys are like trying to learn more stuff about art and things of that nature, or working on comics, I'll be focusing more on those types of videos soon. Well, not videos, but more content like that on my Patreon page. Right now, I want to focus on what is it called? Style characters and stuff like that. So when it comes to style, a lot of people seem to have a hard time figuring out their style and how to go about like dissecting all of it. And some people think of style as being something that's very simple, very simplistic. And I kind of wanted to make like a little short series of tips and things to kind of familiarize yourself with, so that you can kind of learn more about like how deep that kind of goes. And I split it into mainly like 3 types of things, which is where my knowledge base is from, which is comics and manga, which is like one thing, right? Comics and manga, illustration, and character designs, right? So I'm going to be focusing on that eventually and trying to produce as much content as I need for those. And I also have an audio clip that's pretty darn long. It's almost an hour long, actually, of me just going through, breaking down each one of those things and kind of focusing in on like what makes those things, what tethers all those 3 things together, and also what makes them different. But if you're looking forward to that content, go ahead and go to my Patreon page and support me there. I'll keep putting up these videos for free as I go along, working through this comic and showing you guys the process along the way. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 9 p.m. You guys have a good one. Peace.